You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
Well, hello. It is Monday, the 16th of March, 2015. How are you guys?
Good. How you doing?
Good. We started about a minute early tonight because we are going to have a special guest on. Angela Brown Burke, the mayor of Kingston, Jamaica, has been in Denver for the past few days, checking out what the marijuana industry is like here and kind of getting educated on what a structured marijuana industry looks like. And she's going to give us a call. This woman's got to be exhausted. I am so impressed. Oop, is this her on the phone?
Yeah,
okay. So. Hi, you're on iCannabis Radio. Is this Angela?
Yes, it is.
Hi. I was just introducing you. You're on the line with Georgia and Ronell and Gabe.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much. And you're live on the air. We're on the air with Angela. I know, surprise. Angela Brown Burke, the mayor of Kingston, Jamaica. Angela, I met you Saturday night with my husband, Warren. Thank you so much for being on with us tonight.
Oh, not at all, not at all.
I understand that I've caught you in between tours. You have been busy every moment that you've been in Colorado, haven't you?
I have been. I've been taken to grows. I've been taken to dispensaries, to meets. I've been talking to officials from the governor's office, the mayor's office, the MED. It's been packed.
You have done everything.
The weekend. Yes.
Now tell us a little bit about what brought you to Colorado for this trip. What were you hoping to get out of this trip?
Well, as Jamaica moves towards legalization, we have actually legalized, but we haven't implemented it yet. It's not operationalized. So what we're currently doing is that we are drafting the rules and regulations that will govern the industry. And I wanted, since Colorado has a history and they've been there before, they've walked the road of legalization and decriminalization before we did, I wanted to just have an idea as to what were some of the possibilities, what was the potential, and also, I wanted to find out what were some of the pitfalls, and what were some of the things if they had to do it again that they wouldn't do, so we didn't have to make those errors ourselves.
So what are some of the
I'm sorry.
What are some of the key pieces of kind of advice that you've received that you're going to take back to Jamaica?
Well, the key one I think is to make sure we develop the rules and regs before persons actually start businesses and start trading and are into business, because it's always difficult once the horse has gone through the gate to try and close that gate.
Sure.
So that's one. The other is to be open to be surprised.
That's right.
So that's what I've really taken on board.
I think that's good advice, to be surprised.
Easy. Right. I know it's not going to be easy, but I'm waiting to be surprised when I get back.
So there's a few complicating factors in Jamaica that are clearly different than some of the struggles that we've had in Colorado.
Sure.
And one of the issues is how you're going to incorporate Rastafarianism in your rules and your laws. How is that going to look, do you think?
Well, it's not just the Rastafarians, it's the Rastafarians, and it's also our local traditional farmers.
Uh-huh.
So we have a number of individuals who have been farming ganja, as we call it, for many, many years, for generations. That's been their lifeblood, but it's been illegal. And so the question is, as we move to establish a legal industry, how do we make sure they still have a place to play? Mm-hmm. How do we make sure that those individuals who have been marginalized, victimized, and stigmatized over the years because of their association with marijuana?
Right.
How do we make sure that they can participate in a legal industry? And I think that is a challenge. We, as a government, are committed to doing that. So we are committed to doing that. And we just have to continue the dialogue, the conversations that we've been having to make sure that every step of the way we have this dialogue. We're not always going to agree.
Right.
But I think it's important for us to have the conversation because it's a high mistrust environment. There's little trust in the environment.
Right.
Because these are individuals who have developed and lived a life that has been outside of the law, so to speak.
Right.
Right. And so they don't trust authorities. And in all fairness to them as well, I believe our enforcement officers have not always played fair with them.
Yes.
And so we have to overcome that. So I think that just establishing that conversation and making sure they're aware of the steps we're taking, why we're taking it, even if they do not agree.
Right.
I think they've come to understand that we're going to need some level of regulations. At first, they wanted it just free, no taxes to be paid, no regulations. And that just cannot be it. We are a well-known transshipment port, so that's another big issue as well. And we have to make sure whatever we do does not reinforce that reputation. So persons are clearly aware that we are not developing an industry that is going to aid and abet illegal exploitation.
Well, and I think that's exactly what Colorado has experienced to kind of a different degree. I think that there have been a lot of people that prior to our medical marijuana amendment going into effect, who did grow underground and sold underground, and a lot of those folks are the came up and decided to be the beginning of our industry, and we're so thankful that those folks were comfortable enough and confident enough and wanted so much for this to be legal and to do this correctly that they became the beginning of our industry, and we wouldn't be where we are without them. So so it's
absolutely, and we're expecting to have the same thing. We're expecting that they will be the backbone. They certainly have the knowledge from the industry. They have had years of experience of growing, of mixing, and even doing whether it's ortiz, whether it's a rub, and stuff like that. So I think they bring a lot to the table as well.
Yeah.
What we have to do is to use that knowledge that they have gained through their experience, add the science to it, add the technology, add the real business side as well. And I think that's the way to go.
And that's a struggle. It's a struggle to go from being afraid of law enforcement and afraid of talking openly about what you do to being a part of the industry. And that's definitely a hurdle to jump over. And I think even though people have jumped in with both feet, have still, it took a long time to shed some of those concerns and some of those fears and distrusts.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing that I've noticed too is just the professionalism in the industry.
Yes.
So that's another thing, once you come out from the dark into the light, we have to understand that these are also some changes.
Yes.
So we're talking about the industry, we're talking about some level of professionalism, and persons who are not used to operating like that are going to also have to understand that that's what is going to be called for.
That's right. So am I to understand that Jamaica is going to recognize medical marijuana patients from other countries as well, and they'll be able to purchase.
Yes.
So tell me about.
We have a booming tourism industry. So what we also want to do is to leverage that. So we are a well-known tourist destination. We are a well-known ganja and marijuana destination.
Yeah.
So the question is, how do we make sure now that we make provisions for these tourists who are going to come to Jamaica, who have their medical card or whatever it is that they have, and would want to be able to purchase. And we have to provide a legal structure through which they are going to be able to do that.
How do you feel neighboring countries feel about Jamaica being potentially a medical marijuana pot tourism hub?
I'm not so sure, but one thing I know is Jamaica has been many firsts. So we are not worried about being first in terms of in the Caribbean and so on. And we have always led in terms of our tourism. We are well known for reggae music, culture, ganja, marijuana. And what we are doing, especially at a time like this, in terms of the economy, is leveraging what we have, the assets that we have, and monetizing that and making sure that individuals can earn a decent living from it.
Yes. I mean that those kinds of reasons alone are so logical. It's unfortunate that there's still a stigma that concerns people about legalizing medical marijuana, legalizing marijuana entirely. But if you look at just the numbers and the fact that people are earning a living and tax revenues and those kinds of things, those are really tangible, positive points to legalization. And sometimes I scratch my head and I can't figure out why people can't see that.
Absolutely, and we're only talking on that side. We haven't begun to talk about the real medical advantages. Individuals suffering from cancer, Alzheimer's, epilepsy, and all those
That's
other
right.
kinds of stuff, in constant pain, and the relief that they can get through the use of medical marijuana.
Yeah.
And the other thing that we've done is that we've decriminalized 2 ounces or less, and that is
Excellent.
also a huge, huge thing
Yes.
for us, because what used to happen in the past, that many of our young boys in particular, low-income neighborhoods, were always harassed by the police. If you have a little ganja cigarette, marijuana
Yeah.
cigarette, and you see the police coming, you're going to start running. So you're running, the police see you running, they're not sure why you're running.
Yeah.
Boom, they're probably going to shoot after you, or something is going to happen.
Right.
And many, many of our youth, they have been in jail, they have been denied opportunities to work because they have a police record because they were arrested and charged
Right.
for smoking. So what we have also done is that we have wiped that slate clean for individuals who have been arrested or convicted of 2 ounces, possession of 2 ounces or
Excellent.
less.
Excellent.
And that I believe is also big because it's going to change the relationship in our neighborhood.
That's right.
Between our young boys and our police.
That's right. That's excellent.
And I do have a question. Have you spoken with law enforcement here on how to deal with that, or to take notes on what our law enforcement has done to deal with, because that is a big issue with minorities?
Right. I have spoken with them. I had a discussion with the MED, the MED, and when I met with, I think it was Ashley Gilroy from the mayor's office, I met with the marijuana team there and so on. And I've been talking to them about what they have been doing as well, just to get an idea in terms of that. But, as I thought, it's really about building relationships.
Yes.
It's also about, once you have the rules, making sure that we all understand the rules and we are playing by the rules. And that once we're playing by the rules, we know what to expect.
And are there more Jamaican officials or Jamaican city officials planning to come to Colorado to take notes just as you did?
I'm sure at some point they will, because, we're always willing to learn from persons. Persons say to me, why are you coming to Colorado? We have so much marijuana in Jamaica. We've been doing it for years. But the truth is that we bring something to the table from Jamaica, but we can also learn from others.
Right.
And we have always been open to learning from others. And so I believe that they will come. I know that they've been in touch already with individuals who are here. We have one of your companies that signed an agreement with one of our universities, for example, to do some testing and to have, because that's also going to be important in terms of knowing exactly what it is we have
That's right.
in Jamaica, and therefore what we can do with that, and what it is the market wants, and whether, how far are we away from that. So these are important steps as well, and we've begun those discussions.
And speaking about learning from America, in Kingston, I actually read that you guys had a police shooting back on March 6th that a cop killed a young boy. And from what I read, they've charged the cop. But my question to you is, what did you guys learn from watching kind of our country's problem with this, and how did you guys react and change it?
That was really very unfortunate. It was unfortunate too because it came after a similar incident where a young man was actually arrested for possession again of small quantities and ended up dead in police custody. And I think part of what is clear is that while we await the drafting of the rules and regulations, we have to begin the public education campaign.
Yes.
And that public education campaign is not just about the broader populace in terms of knowing what is going to be legal, what is illegal, what you can do and so on. But it's also about law enforcement, it's about our medical community, and all of those other professionals who have to deal with it so that they understand what to do during this period, because this period is really a difficult period. It is still illegal, so that's one. But at the same time, because we know what the rules are what is going to be allowed, the least I believe we can do is to begin to ignore some of those things. Heaven knows, I think we have enough other issues for law enforcement than to be doing this. I know the Minister of Security has said that. I know the government has said that. And so what we have to do is to send that message that just will not be tolerated.
So what's the timeline? I'm switching gears a little bit, Angela. What's the timeline to get your program up and running?
I don't think we've fixed a hard and fast timeline, but I do know we've been talking about this for 30, 40 years.
Yes.
And so I believe that persons are impatient. We're finally passed those laws, and people want to make sure that it's up and running. The rest of the world, they are waiting on us. And so if we want to carve our own name in terms of research and development, in terms of medical marijuana, in terms of therapeutic uses and so on, I believe that, there's no time to waste. So I would imagine that within the next 90 days or so, we would want to make sure we move to another step.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. I know that you have been back to back to back, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share with you.
Thank you so much.
Okay, then.
We've been talking to Mayor Angela Brown Burke from Kingston, Jamaica. She is here in Colorado trying to get some information about how to kind of put together the rules that are going to govern the medical marijuana program in Jamaica. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
The law offices of Edson, Maton, and Matz provide criminal defense, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running medical marijuana centers, optional premises cultivation operations, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout Colorado. With offices in Denver and Aspen, we can offer assistance throughout the entire state of Colorado. Give us a call at 303-831-8188. That's 303-831-8188. Or visit us online at warrenedson.com.
Dispensary owners and growers. In today's world, it helps to be insured. So call Cuffle, Collimore & Company, where we provide medical marijuana insurance for dispensaries and growers. Are you looking for insurance that protects you against property theft? Then give Cuffle, Collimore & Company a call, where we include product liability and professional liability, as well as crop insurance for growers. Remember, find us at mdispensaryinsurance.com or give us a call at 877-335-1234.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On Grass. Runongrass.com.
Catch a case on the Mondays. iCannabis Radio has you covered. Happy Mondays with Georgia and Jeremy is back now.
Now, goddammit.
We're back.
That's what's up.
That was wonderful to talk to Mayor Angela Brown Burke from Kingston, Jamaica. It's, I think a couple things. I think that up until recently, people didn't realize that cannabis was illegal in Jamaica.
It's
still
not the
is.
impression the rest of the world has, though.
That's right. I'm saying that I don't think people realize. I think people thought
that it was legal there.
Yeah, you go to Jamaica and you can easily, and you can't easily buy, but that you can legally buy and all those kinds of things.
Has like a California feel to it.
It had to. Well, I got to tell you that this literally happened. Like driving down the road and a guy with a big long cola like waving it in front of our car. That's in Jamaica.
That's
on the road. That's
hustling right there.
That's hustling. So it sounds to me like a lot of thoughtful preparation is going into what Jamaica's program is gonna look like, and the mayor has spent hours upon hours going to businesses big and small, talking to the marijuana enforcement division, talking to law enforcement, talking to current business owners, and really trying to get an understanding of the pros and the cons. And there's nothing better than talking to people who have lived it, who have experienced what those building blocks are like, what happens when one of your blocks is corrupted or bad or doesn't work out, and how to shift gears. And why reinvent the wheel? Why not avoid the pitfalls that we experienced? I think it's brilliant.
Well, I'm really shocked that it's only medical. It's not rec. Didn't they catch on to the whole rec is where the tax dollars are?
I think we got to go one step at a time. But they decriminalized 2 ounces just in January. So,
that's pretty
going from you can have weed to, hey, you can go buy it wherever you want. That's a mighty, mighty leap.
And
sounds like rec weed.
It is rec weed. The way, because you think where they decriminalized it here in 2008, then what was it? Last year, 2012, they finally made it rec to where you can just go buy it out the store. But it was already decriminalized.
I think that I mean, she has said, not in that interview, but in other interviews, that's ultimately what that goal is. I think my favorite part of that was when asking about, how do other countries feel? How do other Caribbean islands feel? They're just going to have to roll with it. Well,
it just doesn't seem like a huge shock. And again, that's the joys
right.
of living here in the middle of the United States.
That's
is
right.
that Jamaica just legalized marijuana to a point.
And we were talking before we started revenue in that country where it's already a big tourist spot. Now just imagine all the countries around it that don't have legalized pot are definitely going to fly. Like their revenue's not going to just go up with the marijuana, but it's going to go up with the tourists.
And those countries should be concerned. They should be concerned that they're going to lose tourism dollars because Jamaica's beautiful. It's a beautiful country. The food is fantastic. The beaches are pristine. The people are sweet and nice and wonderful. And then you can buy legal weed. Did I mention how beautiful the beaches are?
Well, the surrounding countries or little islands and whatever will probably jump on pretty quick once they realize that, hey, we could triple, quadruple our income, our tourist income, even take it from Jamaica, go to Jamaica and come to our island for the night and stay here.
Well, and speaking of that, Cannabis Global Initiative is a consulting business that actually is the one that brought the mayor to Colorado. They are aiding Jamaica in making their rules and designing their infrastructure. In addition, they also do amazing tours, 420 friendly tours. And we will definitely have Wanda James. Thank you so much, Wanda, for organizing our conversation with the mayor. Wanda James will be on to talk more about what their cooking school is going to look like and their tours to Jamaica and all the exciting things that are happening as this kind of explodes. I mean, this is to us. I think it feels like we've been doing this for so long, but really so much has happened in just 10 short years. So much
has happened. But it's so much, so fast that, just like you said, it seems like it happened forever ago now because, it just feels it's been legal here for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
we've gone through so many different phases and dispensaries and laws and just phases that it's insane. I mean, there was a point in time when we could smoke in our dispensaries here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Prior to March 1st, 2010.
Interesting. I know.
That was lots of fun.
So much has changed. So much has changed. But is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? That
it's just progressive. It's working out the kinks and finding what works. It's a lot of people are freaking out about a lot of these kind of things and think, well, we should just switch. Like, okay, for example, with the new law or with the new bill that is being introduced in Congress that will help lax prohibition, and everyone's cheering it, and some of us caught the whole Schedule 2 sentence, and we're really going out on a tangent about it. Fortunately, I saw Warren's post, a couple days ago that said that it was...
There's exemptions.
Yeah. But are they to be trusted? And everyone thinks, well, we got to take these steps, because they're necessary. It's like, no, they're really not. You don't have to get beat up to be in a good relationship, like sometimes you can just get into a good relationship,
right?
And so
it feels like we're free falling. It feels like we're free falling from an incredibly high altitude, and every once in a while we bump off of something that we think we're gonna be able to hold on to and be secure and safe, and then something else happens, and I mean, what has been? I guess computers have been the biggest new quote unquote industry, and computers have been around for 30, 40 years.
For quite a while, for what feels like forever.
Yeah, and we have been around for a short period of time, and I think that places like Jamaica are really, really lucky. They're lucky that they get to look back in time at what happened and what was positive and what didn't work out so well, and they're going to make so much progress so quickly because they don't have to fall over the same bumps that we did.
Right. Now, isn't there a UN international drug treaty that prevents pretty much legalization in any country, and that's where some of the hoopla was coming from back.
It's a lot of hoopla, yeah.
And we legalized, and they were saying that the UN could come in and tell us that we can't. And it's like, dude, fuck you.
Well, I don't know that I heard necessarily that the UN could come in overpower our.
Well, just because it's world rules.
I just had the rule up on my computer though. It's exactly that. It's a UN agreement, like a drug convention agreement that they made. I literally just had it up. I don't know why I don't have it up anymore. And I don't know how well the UN can enforce this.
Right. I'm not sure. Authority here. Like I don't think that a van could deploy and come in and raid your house or anything.
We don't have to be part of the UN. I mean, that's the thing. It's we choose to be part of the UN, which is great. But that doesn't mean that we've given up our freedoms to this.
Right.
To this agreement.
That's why it's an agreement.
I know that's why we get away with like torture because it's like the Geneva Convention. I know we signed it, but
yeah.
That's
a long time ago.
Exactly.
I actually personally didn't sign it. Somebody else did.
Right. You know when it was written, it was before what we got going on now.
What we got going on is different.
Oh, but that drug thing? No, keep it. No.
Right.
Straight up and down. But I mean, like, so the UN does have this rule in place, and I want to pull it up to look at it again because it's just, I mean, I just thought it was kind of stupid.
So did Warren talk about more of that bill, of things that he found? Did he ever find out if that section that he read was from the right bill? Okay.
That's right, it is.
So is there text of the full bill available anywhere for any kind of observation?
Yeah, it's on iCannabis Radio, it's on Run on Grass, it's on my Twitter page.
Excellent.
It's all over, so yeah. It's out there. It's out there.
I was almost asked how many pages.
I just said out loud, it's on my Twitter page. I never do that. I never do that. And I just said it's on my Twitter page, which is
sounds like
Run
you do
on
it.
Grass, of course. I know. Run on Grass, of course, is my.
That's awesome.
Yeah. How many times have you guys ever heard me say it's on my Twitter page?
Never.
Thank you.
I've minimal.
Didn't even know you had a Twitter.
Thank you.
I did not
See?
know. I was not aware.
I like to read Twitter more than I like to tweet. But I did tweet that because that was pretty freaking amazing.
You're not a tweeter? Twatter?
I'm definitely not a twatter.
Right. Fuck it.
Here we go.
It gets so hard to follow all these.
Sometimes
weird
it's rough.
things.
Sometimes it's rough. Did you find it right now?
I may have.
May have.
It's the 3 major international drug control and drug control treaties. There was one in 1961, the Single Convention on Narcotic Drugs, the 1971 Convention on Psychotropic Substances, and the 1988, as my man said, the good stuff, and the 1988 United Nations Convention against illicit traffic of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. So they took the first one and the second one, and at the third one they were like trafficking of the first two. But
so they would consider what we do in Colorado to be trafficking, is what their concern was.
I mean, what part of it would be trafficking?
If we left the state, I think that they worry about like like if Mexico bringing it into the United States or South America shipping it across to
that's not
here.
okay.
Yeah, because
right, that's what I think.
That's not okay.
I have a report here from HuffPost World, a partnership of HuffPost. It says that according to the Associated Press, Jamaica is the Caribbean's largest exporter of cannabis to the United States. So basically, if you're not getting your weed from America in the Caribbean, you're getting it from Jamaica. So I think that
would have been an interesting fact to have had up about 15 minutes ago, so we could have asked her and said, "So, what about this?"
Yeah, I mean, but when she said it's going to change the industry, where the mind state's not going to be to the, because obviously all of this has to be illegal. You know what I'm saying? Where the mind state's going to change, and it's not necessarily going to just stay that route.
Well, I mean, I loved what a humanistic standpoint she came from.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she specifically said that we don't want to marginalize those that have been growing for years illegally.
She didn't really sound like a politician.
I know. She sounds like a human being. I know.
Right, that was
a human
weird.
being. Yes.
So I was like, wait, are we really talking to the mayor? Yeah,
to a human being.
Because I really wanted to, there's a part I wanted to ask her, like, how do you deal with the criminals that are already doing it?
Well, I thought I heard her say something about that for all the people that have got in trouble that they're wiping that clean. I thought I heard her say that they were wiping all that clean for the kids or the people that have gotten in trouble with it.
Yeah, they were talking about that. She was talking about that when we asked some of the rules that would be put in, and they're still in the rural building phase right now. So that can or can't be, it's possible.
They're recognizing. I mean, she speaks for a larger group. They're recognizing that being arrested and convicted of weed possession is ruining kids' lives, and definitely ruining their relationship with law enforcement, those kinds of things.
So on that note, have you seen some of the stories that are floating around the news pipeline now about the kid? There's a kid now, he's 15 or 12, something, that just got suspended from school for 4 months for bringing leaves to school that
weren't pot.
Let's talk about that after the break for sure, because we'll talk about that whole story.
Okay.
Definitely, but that kind of thing. I mean, the story that Jeremy's referring to takes place in Virginia, which to me is like the crotch of the South when it comes to stuff like that, because it's like they forget that yes, kids don't have the same rights as adults, but they're still human beings, and they still need to be treated with justice and with fairness. And someone is not guilty until they're proven guilty.
I mean, in our government, that's how it's supposed to be.
But not in the crotch of the South.
True.
So we're going to take a quick break, and we will come back with that story. You're listening to Happy Mondays on iCannabis Radio.
Dispensary owners and growers. In today's world, it helps to be insured. So call Cuffle, Collimer & Company, where we provide medical marijuana insurance for dispensaries and growers. Are you looking for insurance that protects you against property theft? Then give Cuffle, Collimer & Company a call, where we include product liability and professional liability, as well as crop insurance for growers. Remember, find us at mdispensaryinsurance.com or give us a call at 877-335-1234.
The Law Office of Edson, Mayton & Matz provides criminal defense, family law, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running a medical marijuana center, optional premises cultivation operation, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout the state of Colorado. We're focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. WarrenEdson.com. Edson, Mayton & Matz in Denver, 303-831-8188, and in Aspen, 970-948-7183. WarrenEdson.com.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On grass. Runongrass.com.
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Hi, welcome back. Hi, welcome back. So the story that Jeremy was talking about, I wanted to talk about as well, which is just horrible. First of all, I hate the title of this article. This is from Fox News, or Fox 31 Denver, their site, which is kdvr.com. Get it? K-Denver, get it? KDVR, yeah. It's called Sixth Grader's Life, quote, ruined, end quote, after drug charge despite tests showing leaf was not marijuana. I don't know why ruined is in quotation marks, like his life was not really ruined, because it sounds pretty ruined to me.
Right.
Let me read the story. So this is in Bedford, Virginia. The family of an 11-year-old Virginia boy is still fighting to clear their son's name months after he was suspended for a crime evidence showed he did not commit. Officials at Bedford Middle School began investigating the sixth grader, part of the Gifted and Talented program, in September of 2014. Students allegedly told a teacher that the boy was bragging about having marijuana and said that his parents grew the drug in their backyard. Grew the plant in their backyard. Administrators searched the boy's bag and sure enough found a crumpled leaf and a lighter. A crumpled leaf and a lighter.
Because that's exactly how marijuana works. You just grab the leaves and you crumple it up and you smoke them.
Right.
Without a pipe or papers even.
But they just found a leaf. They didn't necessarily found a marijuana. They
found zero anything else, just a leaf.
From there, the situation turned murky. The boy's parents, Bruce and Linda Bays, were called to the school and told what had happened. They argued that they did not grow pot and that their son told all of the adults that he had no idea where the leaf came from. He had said he had been pranked. Administrators suspended the boy pending a full hearing, despite the fact that this kid denies this. But one thing struck the parents as odd. I asked, "Can I see the leaf?" Said the deputy said, "No, it's already in evidence." Linda Bays told the newspaper, "We have never seen the leaf." So they never showed the parents what evidence they had. At the hearing, the Bays learned that the school resource officer, Bedford County Sheriff's Deputy M.M. Colahan, had filed a drug possession charge against their son, and that the district was pushing to expel him. But after a protracted process, the Bays learned the truth. Repeated tests had found that the leaf was not actually marijuana. In the end, the criminal charge was dropped, but the boy was still expelled for 364 days for quote-unquote drug possession. Now that's where a quote is appropriate, because it's not actually drug possession. Because you know what? He didn't possess a drug. He possessed a leaf. Of whatever that leaf was. We don't know. Anyway.
I mean, it's sad to think that even if it was a cannabis leaf, just a regular old fan leaf, like, oh, look, I got a leaf, that an 11-year-old could get expelled from school because he had a leaf.
I'm more concerned about the kid having a lighter, right? Like about somebody bringing a lighter to school than I am about a leaf.
Right.
So despite the test, he was expelled for 364 days for drug possession. The boy was forced into a program for remedial and troubled students, where his parents claim, has changed from an honor student into a disturbed child. No kidding. I mean, this kid feels like everyone's against him because where he's supposed to be the safest outside of his home, he got pranked or whatever happened. And
they threw him under the bus.
And threw him under the bus. And the bus ran over him multiple times, as far as I'm concerned. 364 times, to be exact.
That's insane.
He just broke down and said that his life was over. Linda Bays said that the 11-year-old he would never be able to get into college, that he would never be able to get a job. Poor thing, at 11 years old, being that, Eventually, after the boy's doctor contacted the district, officials have agreed to allow him to rejoin his class this week, but only under a zero-tolerance probation. So again...
Right, so all he has to do is burp into a girl's ear, and the dude next to him that likes that girl's like, fuck you, I'm going to go tell on you.
Yep.
They go tell him he burped in her ear, and
right.
Boom,
and nothing
gone.
happened to him before, so who knows what... He did nothing before, and if he did nothing again, who knows what could happen to him.
Right. Doing nothing. Woo.
Doing nothing. The boy's parents, both are school teachers, have filed a federal lawsuit against Bedford County Schools and the Bedford County Sheriff's Office, alleging the assistant principal, Brian Wilson, and school operations chief, Frederick McDoulis, violated the boy's due process rights under the U.S. Constitution. Hell to the yeah. It also accuses the Bedford County Office of malicious prosecution because Deputy Colohan filed marijuana possession charges against the boy despite the field tests showing that there was not real pot involved. The defendant's attorney said that the lawsuit has no merit, telling the Roanoke Times that it doesn't matter whether the leaf was really pot. As long as the school officials believed that it was a drug, they were entitled to follow through on their punitive action.
But that's just the same as the police saying, well, I thought that I smelled marijuana from a mile away from the suspect's house, so I went into their house illegally, shot their baby and their dog, and I found a joint. So everybody's in jail now. And
right.
That's okay.
I mean, it certainly gives you probable cause to do some investigation, but then to turn around and file charges. And, you know, this poor kid, I mean, I don't know what really happened, but you know, it's doubtful. I think it's doubtful that an 11-year-old is bringing a bunch of pot to school. Is it probable that kids are bragging about stuff like that? Of course.
They're kids.
Oh, yeah. They're kids. And could he have, if he had access to it, could he have brought a leaf to school? Sure. But that's not what happened in this case. That's not what happened in this case. And it's so sad. And this kid's life sort of is ruined because how is he going to trust authority? How is he going to trust...
Exactly. There's no way you come back from that. Not at that young age because you're still learning. This is what the world's like. This is how I got to function in the world. You.
Right.
Exactly.
What he is learning, though, is that his parents have his back.
Which is good.
That is for sure.
So here's a couple of other examples of some of the children problems from around the country.
Yeah.
In Fairfax County, 6-year-old Salencia Johnson was handcuffed, charged with beating, and placed in a holding cell for throwing a tantrum. 6 years old.
What?
In Texas, 12-year-old Sarah Bustamante was arrested for spraying herself with perfume, which you probably heard about this. This was circulating last week. For spraying perfume in a bid to stop bullies from picking on her and saying she was smelly. So she got in trouble. In Albuquerque,
so sad.
A 13-year-old boy was handcuffed and hauled off to juvenile detention for burping in class. And it has links to all the stories, you know, from this. a high school student that had her arm broken by a school security guard for leaving crumbs on the floor after dropping some birthday cake in the cafeteria. She was then arrested for littering. And there's all links. Like, this isn't just random made-up stuff.
I got to tell you, I firmly believe there are two sides to every story. Two sides to every story. However,
there's no excuse to put a 6-year-old in handcuffs for anything.
Exactly.
Any reason ever.
Right. Any reason ever. I mean, if they're harming themselves, or someone else, I mean, there are safer, better ways to handle that. Oh my gosh, that's heart-wrenching.
Well, and the last one here says a 7-year-old student with special educational needs was pepper sprayed in the face by a police officer in school for climbing onto a bookshelf. I mean, the people that work in schools are not trained to deal with all walks of life. The teachers and the people that they put in there, the personnel that they put in there, are generally able to deal with the middle of the spectrum.
Right.
Slightly below average, slightly above average. They're not equipped to deal with the genius. They're not equipped to deal with the mentally disabled or challenged or whatever you want to say about it. And so this naturally is going to happen. And then with taking away the right of parents to discipline their child physically, of course this is what's going to happen. It's just going to get worse and worse.
Wait a second.
Bring it.
Wait a second.
Bring it.
So here's the thing that I don't understand about corporal punishment. And I was a spanked child growing up, so I understand both sides of it. But I have never, nor will I ever, allow anyone, myself, my husband, anyone, to punish my son physically.
Well, right, but it's only you and your husband's right as your child to, when you tell them no and they look back at you and say, I don't care, what do you do then? Well, if you can't hit them and show them that real life has immediate drastic consequences. I saw a video the other day. You know those stupid prank videos that go around where like a dude will walk up to somebody and just grab their phone and say, oh, I just wanted to see what time it was, or
sure.
All these dumb random pranks. Well, there was a video of when that shit goes wrong. And this one guy looked like a Middle Eastern guy, was in a very happy black neighborhood, and he would go up to people, the guys with their pants down to here, and he'd go up and pull them up and be like, you need to pull up your pants, man. And people would turn around and punch him.
Right.
One dude took out a gun, and it's like, people are fucking
stupid. That is totally different to me. That there's no correlation to that and then punishing my kid by. So first of all, I think most people when they punish their kids
the
physically,
correlation to that is that real reactions can happen just like that.
Therein lies the problem, because what happens is that a parent then is angry and hits their kid in anger, and so it seems like a reaction versus a punishment. Punishment is something that's thought out and spoken about.
Well,
right.
But your kid doesn't care if your kid's screaming bloody murder in the grocery store, and all you got to do is pop him or her on the behind to let her realize you need to shut the fuck up now.
Then I think that you need to intellectualize your parenting a little bit.
Because
sometimes you just walk away.
There's both. I mean,
but
there's
you can't in a
both
grocery
sides
store.
Sure you can. Absolutely you can.
You can't just leave your kid freaking out in the middle of the store when they're screaming for you and everybody's looking at you and trying to get you thrown out of the store.
No, everyone at the grocery store understands that you have no control over an 18-month-old kid having a temper tantrum.
But a 6-year-old child who's screaming, I want this now, or any number of anything.
That's what 6-year-olds do, though.
That's what they do.
That's
right.
not. So you can't really whoop them for doing what 6-year-olds
sure.
do. But the thing about corporal punishment is, my thing is, where if you don't get punished, then life's gonna punish you. The police will punish you. Like, if you don't get in trouble for the stuff, like say you get caught stealing and you never get like whooped for it, when you get caught stealing later, you don't get no whoopings.
But I think that there's lots and lots of ways to punish a child, and
totally.
And you don't have to do it physically. You don't.
No,
I just think that times have changed since the child abuse laws came in and parents could no longer discipline them. I think that in schools we're seeing a rise of discipline-free children, and it's making things worse because this law has been in effect long enough now to where these children have grown into 20-some-odd-year-olds and are in positions of power and maybe even older.
That feels like a parental issue to me. And I'm not saying I'm the best parent in the world. That's right. It always comes down to the parent.
Always.
And if you can't figure, if your kid throws a temper tantrum in a grocery store, and I got to tell you that I feel really lucky because I can count on one hand the number of times that my kid has done something embarrassing in a public place like that, and none of them were to the degree that the little girl who they arrested, none of them were to that degree. But really, like, your kid is tired. Try not to take him to the grocery store. If you do, recognize that that's going to happen, and you just kind of, you pick him up, you put him in your cart, and you take him to the car. I mean, there's got to be. I'm not trying to simplify it, but to me, the answer isn't swatting him on the butt. Well, I mean, my kid knows
for that particular
look,
thing, maybe not. But if you go out and look at some of the children, or many of the children, they're nowhere near the for lack of better terms, the quality that your child is. And I don't mean that to sound like, but I mean, your child seems to be very well disciplined. He's very well behaved. He's got manners. He's cute morals. He's a very handsome little boy. Thank you. But that's not how the rest of the world is working out there. The rest of the world is falling apart.
Well, I mean, there are kids that are like my kid that are just kind of inherently don't want to do something that's going to get them in trouble. Not because I've ever hit him, but because he doesn't really want to get in trouble. But I'll tell you. So last week, he and a bunch of his friends were running around the gym before lacrosse practice, and I said, Gavin, Erica's asking you to stop. And he's like, what? Whatever. And I said, Gavin, Erica asked you to stop. And he was like, whatever. And I looked at him, and he's like, all I did was look at him. And he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, you just lost video games for a week. Why? Because he was disrespectful. And so he knows that he did it again 2 days later. I said, well, this is the boy who lost video games for the week. And, I mean, he felt it. Like, he felt it.
There's a lot of kids that don't get that, though, that don't see it that way.
I
lot
agree.
of kids.
And we just got to figure out what works best for what kids. But we're going to take a quick
parenting.
Quality parenting, which is hard. I mean, it's
really
hard.
It's
so hard. We all know
quality parents are harder to find these days.
Well, even if we think that we don't do it well all the time, I can tell you more times than I'm proud of when I just did it wrong.
Oh, we all do.
Right.
But there's a lot of people that don't care enough about their kids to even try.
Take the time.
Even try.
So let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it. On grass. Runongrass.com.
The Law Office of Edson, Mayton, and Matz provides criminal defense, family law, medical marijuana defense, and advice about setting up and running a medical marijuana center, optional premises cultivation operation, and infused product manufacturing businesses throughout the state of Colorado. We're focused on providing high-quality service and customer satisfaction. We will do everything we can to meet your expectations. WarrenEdson.com. Edson, Mayton, and Matz in Denver, 303-831-8188, and in Aspen, 970-948-7183. WarrenEdson.com.
Dispensary owners and growers. In today's world, it helps to be insured. So call Cuffville, Collimer & Company, where we provide medical marijuana insurance for dispensaries and growers. Are you looking for insurance that protects you against property theft? Then give Cuffville, Collimer & Company a call, where we include product liability and professional liability, as well as crop insurance for growers. Remember, find us at mmdispensaryinsurance.com or give us a call at 877-335-1234.
Catch a case on the Mondays? iCannabis Radio has you covered. Happy Mondays with Georgia and Jeremy is back now.
And we're back. So we learned some funny things during this commercial break.
Important things.
We learned that if you ask Google a question just slightly different, you can go from a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 word answer to a paragraph of an answer.
Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
Paragraph.
So what was your question?
When's the first day of spring 2015?
See, and I just said spring equinox 2015. So...
March 20th, that's this Saturday. Correct?
Friday.
This Friday. Oh my gosh, Friday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So Saturday is the first full day of spring.
So I'm guessing that it must be in the evening because it usually falls between the 20th and the 22nd.
So it is 6:45 p.m. Eastern time.
Okay.
So that's 4:45 p.m. here in the Mountain Time Zone. So yeah.
Cool. So it should be a cool Friday.
So we've been having, in case you noticed, we are wearing summer clothes.
Shorts, T-shirts, no coat.
I got flip-flops on. It's been in the 70s. It's going to be
today.
tomorrow.
No, it hit the 80s yesterday and today.
Did it
like
hit the
low
80s?
80s, like 80, 81,
It was
82.
hot in the car today, for sure. It was really, really hot.
I shook someone's hand and I'm
roasting
like,
in
ooh,
the
I've
car.
got palm sweat.
It's lovely.
Nothing like palm sweat.
It's lovely. I saw 90s and somebody posted a picture of their weather from Cali.
Oh, yeah.
Corona, I think, so southern Cali. And yesterday and the day before were supposed to be in the 90s, and it's like, damn, it's still winter. You guys have a messed up winter in SoCal. So 3 cheers for warm winters.
It's been crazy. Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day.
All day.
Oh, snap.
And I'm part Irish. I just didn't get the drinking part. But I got the temper without the drinking part. But
Yeah, you can be moody.
very worse since the accident. It's like this weird male PMS that hits.
PMS. Sarah seems to think that you are speaking the truth.
I'm just not going to lie about it, you know? Like, there's times where I'm this super happy, joyful guy, and then, like a bipolar weirdo, it's like super dick for a few moments, and then back to happy.
So
and
what
it's like,
happens if someone says, wow, you're being a jerk? How do you respond?
well, it depends.
Say thank you.
If I'm really passionate about whatever I'm talking about, I try to explain that I'm not trying to be a jerk. It's just that I'm really excited and passionate about
Right.
it. Sometimes I probably get mad about it because I don't like to be told.
That you're a jerk?
Since the accident, I've really had a problem with authority. I mean, I had a problem with authority before, but like it's weird now. I don't like my fuse went from tolerable down to it's really I hate it.
Interesting.
But I feel like I'm making little bits of progress here and there. But
Good. I don't think you're a jerk, just to let you know that.
Thank you.
So for those of you that weren't alive today, the March Madness brackets come out tonight.
They came out yesterday.
So that's
Selection.
The full bracket? Is
Selection Sunday. That's after all the tournaments are over. Then the Selection Sunday process goes through the committee, comes out and picks, and it dropped yesterday at 5 o'clock.
So when's the first game?
The first game's tomorrow, but that's because they added 2 more teams to the tournament about 3 years ago.
So that gives you hardly any time at all to pick your bracket.
No. The way this works is these 2 teams there's 2 play-in games that they.
So they don't count in your bracket.
No, kind of not really. You know what I'm saying?
How do they not if you don't know if you can pick them or not?
But you can pick them because the two teams or the 4 teams have the possibility to be the 16 seed that plays a 1 seed. So
okay,
generally they get bumped out fast
right,
anyway.
So you wouldn't pick them anyhow.
You wouldn't pick them anyhow.
Okay.
Typically, but you know.
Who's going to fill out the bracket?
Everybody should fill out.
Everybody
a bracket.
should fill it out.
I don't watch basketball.
You don't have to. It's so much fun.
There's a new sport for you basketball
New
fans.
sport.
Well, it's called slam ball.
Yeah,
like it originated in the warehouse in California, and it's like a basketball court, 2
With
basketball things. But in front of the
trampolines?
net, there's like 4 giant industrial trampolines.
Nuh-uh.
So it's fantastic. So if you're out there in 8 minutes when our show ends, go to Google and type in slam ball and just watch the videos.
Just say, okay, Google. You don't have to type it in.
Right. It's
Welcome.
just slam ball.
He didn't say, okay, Google.
I pushed the button. Sorry, we were already on the screen.
Okay, Google.
So
She usually talks back.
She does. She does. I don't think we can
I think Google's better than Siri.
top
So
place.
we'll just,
Me too.
We'll just let that go so you can kind of get a.
Oh my gosh, you guys have to Google this. This is so insane.
It is pretty insane.
Wait till you see them hit the things and do their tricks. Like
Have you guys seen professional dodgeball?
Uh-uh.
That's
movie.
messed up.
That sounds
The whole
fun.
floor is trampoline.
ooh,
It is so. Isn't it crazy?
Have you been to Jump Street
sounds
with the
hard.
kids?
No, I would never.
I take my-
Gavin goes all the time.
Yeah.
Would you take him with Aubrey?
And he plays, and they do the dodgeball thing in
Yeah.
there. Kids be doing like backflips from trampoline to trampoline. I'm like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, I could never jump. I would be sure to break a leg.
Yeah, and if
or
somebody
something.
hits my kid with a ball, I'll probably get angry. So
Oh, for sure.
my kid doesn't get to play.
For sure.
so I don't know. This made it kind of exciting again. It's not,
It's pretty fun.
you know, like look, people just jump. Like,
looks-
everybody can be Michael Jordan.
It looks like a cartoon.
It really does.
Well, I really think that I'm not advocating gambling because it's illegal, but everyone does the March Madness brackets, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
That's not gambling.
It is if you're in a pool.
That's kind of gambling. I was thinking you were going like over under 500 That's gambling.
That's gambling.
You know?
Yeah, I'm not much of a gambler.
I think Notre Dame's going to win because I think Notre Dame's going to win.
That's how I feel about Notre Dame. Here we go. Here's the brackets. So exciting. I got to fill it out. I got to fill. Oh, you can print it.
So the number one seeds are Villanova, Wisconsin,
Duke,
Kentucky, and Duke.
Yeah.
And then my team's the number 3.
What's your team?
Notre Dame.
Oh,
Hey, we just beat Duke and North Carolina back-to-back days to win the championship. ACC champions.
Welcome to the ACC, by the way. Took you long enough to get there.
We don't need it. We didn't need you guys personally. We didn't.
Yeah, we didn't want you.
You kind of did.
Not really.
Everybody wanted Notre Dame.
Only because the whole NBC contract.
No, you guys don't get no part of that. That's separate from us, and that's only in football.
However, it gives the ACC more coverage, which we need over the SEC and the Big 12.
Yeah, whatever. They suck. Notre Dame is where it is. That's the best. We should have stayed independent. We don't need nobody else's money. We got our own.
Oh my God!
That's how I feel.
So one day, Ronell and I are just gonna have a sports show just between the two of us, so we can just argue.
I almost started singing the Pinky and the Brain theme song. I don't know why. It's just.
We want to thank Cannabis Global Initiative and Wanda James so much for bringing Angela Brown Burke, the mayor of Kingston, Jamaica, to town and bringing her on the show. If you didn't hear the whole interview, go back and check it out as soon as we post the show. Next week. Oh my gosh, we'll be doing our first spring show of 2015.
It's already almost April.
It's not really almost April because today is only halfway through March.
Right. But it's
depends on how you look at your glass.
A couple of weeks away.
It is just a couple of weeks away.
Like it's coming up, and then it's just busy. For anything and everywhere. It's just there's an event going on at all times, especially if you're in the cannabis industry. Well, more or less. Especially the cannabis industry. But yeah, what's the one thing that you're looking forward to the most for the holiday season next month? We'll get here. Let me rephrase it. What's the one thing you're least looking forward to about April 20th?
You know,
or the whole season.
We've come so far, media-wise. I mean, we're so far away from the kids smoking the joints outside with just looking silly or whatever, and the media is now covering more real-world cannabis topics, and 420, fortunately or unfortunately, kind of always goes back to
the circus,
and so I'm a little over that being the focal point, but hopefully, at least in Colorado, people see enough of the others that they aren't as excited about watching the circus.
I could see 420 transforming into one of those things that, like, if you're from Denver, you don't even stay around for. People are like, 420, I'm going to the mountains or something.
It's happening.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it happened.
Like, over the last couple of years, especially since they shut down Boulder, like that whole like fuck it all attitude has started happening.
I could see people getting up and leaving. Like, it happens in like Europe all the time with cities. People are like, like in Sevilla, La Feria happens. People are like, we gotta go.
Yeah.
We got 200 million people who aren't from here.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in this year, 420, April 20th is on a Monday, which means that
The
Saturday,
weekend.
Sunday, Monday are going to be all a part of the party. Which
I heard that they denied Miguel's permit and that they were looking over Robert Chase's permit.
Well, Miguel got the choice, from what I understand. Miguel, the 420 rally at the Capitol in Denver is a pretty big event. And so he had the choice of having the permit for Saturday or Sunday or Monday, and he chose Saturday, Sunday, which left the 420 permit available, is what I understand.
See, he should have went for the Sunday, Monday, I think. But, I mean, it's toughy.
I mean, Saturday, Sunday, Saturday, you're going to make more money on it. No matter, I mean, they're going to make more money on Saturday than the actual 420.
Right, and that just sucks. Just even that phrase, but you're absolutely right.
It's money.
Right.
It's
all
money
about
thing.
money.
It's money.
It used to not be. Remember, we used to gather, and it was all about rebellion and fun and proving that it's safe.
I remember when
we're all doing it. We all leave, and there's no accidents, no fights. Everything's good.
It's cleaned up.
I remember when a dime bag cost a dime.
All right, so we will be back next week. Happy it's spring.
Right, this is our last winter show of 2015.
Winter show, and don't worry, we'll talk about plenty of snowstorms between now and.
Well, this part of the winter, I guess we got winter.
Yeah. The winter.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We will see you guys next week.
Have a beautiful week.
Bye.